Hi, my name is Mary, and I'm going to talk to you about the smartboard technology and how the smartboard can be used in a classroom to create a visual aid as well as a multi-sensory experience for students in an engaging way. The lesson that I've chosen to talk to you about is Alberta birds. I've just put together here a brief agenda about what the lesson plan would look like. So we would start by talking about schoolyard birds and the experiences that children have potentially had with birds, moving on to bird characteristics, and then ending with a couple of activities, name that beak and those feet, along with bird habitats. So the first activity here would be to engage with students in terms of their experiences that they've had with birds. So I would ask them what birds they've seen around the school, what birds they've seen in the neighborhood, as well as in their backyard. And using the smart pen here and the children brainstorming, we would be able to write down the different birds. So maybe they've seen a swallow.
I already have it.
Swallow in their backyard, maybe perhaps they have a pet bird like a budgie or a canary. Maybe they visited the bird sanctuary and they've seen a whooping crane. So just writing down on the white spots the different birds that the children have been exposed to. The next slide is more of a lectoral slide. So here I've put together a visual representation of beaks and feet, and then on the left hand side here of the screen I have then listed the types of beak and feet for the kids. We would then have a discussion in terms of the shape of the beak, the name of the beak, the shape of the feet, the name of the feet. So for example, beak A is a filter feeding beak here, so we can see that with the flamingo. We have a surface skimming beak with the billed beak here that's good for eating small crustaceans on water. We then have grain feeding beak, nectar or insect feeding beak. The pelican here has a scooping beak, so lots of different beaks there, as well as feet. We would move on to the activity, and the children would then be able to come up to the whiteboard and match the beak with the food source, or what the beak's purpose is for, along with the feet as well. So it says here, my beak is best for, and so then the children could come and play a drag and drop or a drag and match kind of game. So for example, we have a hummingbird here and a trumpet flower. We would just just dropped the bird into the trumpet flower. We have a pelican here. Maybe the children make an error and they think that the pelican eats the fly, but it doesn't, so it bounces back. Then they can choose the pelican eating the fish, and that would work. Same with my feet are best for, and then we have webbed feet, talons, and claws. And then we have different features here like perching, swimming, and catching prey. So we could say that the webbed feet are good for swimming. There we go. Catching prey for the talons, and then perching for the little clawed feet there. And that would be the end of the activity, and again the students would come up and do that themselves. We would move on to a mini discussion about bird habitats. So again, I'm using a feature here where the screen is not revealed, and based on discussions we can then start to drop the screen down and talk about different birds that would live on the riverbank, that habitat, why that habitat would be ideal for certain birds in terms of food sources and whatnot. Moving into other habitats here. So birds living on meadows and mountains, city birds, and finally birds in parks. And that is the end of my interactive lesson. Thank you very much.